Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining us today. We're going to continue our analysis of use cases of our portal product. Um, Specifically today, we're going to be looking at a manufacturing use case for our vendor portal product. So this is a portal that I'd be sharing with my suppliers, collaborating with them. And again, it is tailored to a manufacturing industry customer. So we don't have a ton of time today. So with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Our agenda is first of all to look at features that are applicable to the manufacturing industry, again, specific to a portal that is targeted towards vendors or suppliers. Next, we'll go into a live demonstration of this, followed by a review of a couple customer sites and what they're doing with the portal product. And then lastly, next steps. We're going to look at what a portal is good for and just send you with some further reading if this is something of interest to you. So in our introductory video to this series, we did a full analysis of what portal features seem to be the most applicable to what industries and whether or not those features are going to be used from a customer or a vendor perspective. The hard part about this analysis is really any industry could use any feature depending on what's applicable or what's desired to them to meet their requirements. But again, these are the most popular ones. So today we're looking at a manufacturing industry customer, again, a vendor portal. And the items that seem to be the most applicable or popular amongst this industry demographic was financial management, order management, contract management, and lastly, fulfillment. And to discuss what that means, let's go through each of them individually. So financial management from a portal perspective is the ability to view your invoices, print them, monitor payment status. Again, a vendor looking at whether or not they're going to be paid soon, and if they have, when they could expect that payment. Updating ACH and payment details such that they could receive timely payment, as well as submission of new invoices. Order management from a vendor portal perspective is viewing, editing purchase orders, confirming receipts, printing their orders, updating delivery status, any collaboration you want to have with that vendor based on the orders or the purchase orders that are assigned to them. Contract management, storage and maintenance of vendor contracts, electronic documents, expiration and renewal, signature capture, etc. So the whole workflow associated to that, as well as fulfillment. View inventory levels, determine fulfillment needs, visibility to inventory in transit, insights into advanced ship notifications, as well as goods receipt. So we are now going to leave the PowerPoint and we're going to look at a sample portal that we've built capturing these features and how they could be used. So let's go ahead and switch it over. So here we have our sample vendor portal. Again, these portals are SharePoint-based portals, right? So they're secure. Only users that I enable collaboration with through Office 365 have access to these portals. And again, they're branded to your company, right? They're not intended to, show anything about DynamicPoint or anything of that nature. They should really be specific to your organization. So with SharePoint, I have a lot of options as far as how these look and feel, but let's go ahead and go through my sample one here. And as you can see, I have a fictitious company by the name of Zapco. They're a welding and fabrication service for heavy industry. So here we have a few headings: order management, financials, fulfillment details. These are actually just links to anchor tags on the page. And then we have all of our functionality laid out sort of by functional area. So we have order management showing purchase orders, goods receipts, closed orders, returns. We have a financial section that goes into invoices. You could generate your own statement. You could update your ACH details, upload new invoices that of course you want to submit for payment. We have a fulfillment section that goes into bill of materials, production orders, inventory, and a discussion board. And then lastly, we have contract management where I could view and renew my contracts. So we obviously have a lot to go through here, so let's start clicking on these and going into details of what these various calls to action provide. All right, so let's look at purchase orders. Purchase orders, again, this is a live query of my ERP information. The portal is a window into that data. So that was a real-time call to my ERP application, retrieving the purchase orders for the authenticated vendor. All of the fields that you see here are configurable, as well as the ability to configure whether or not the user has view edit or create access. So here you can see I could view my existing purchase orders. I'm giving them the ability to update an expected delivery date as well as acknowledge them. You can see I could also print my POs. So as opposed to having vendors call you and say, hey, can I get a copy of that PO? They could just go to the portal and print it whenever they want. So in addition to open POs, I also have another section for closed POs. It's really looking at the same data set, but these of course are just already been fulfilled, already released. So you can see the status of these POs are different, but essentially it's the same thing as the open POs. I have the ability to manage returns. So if I want to collaborate with my suppliers on returns, I could give them access. So these are all the returns that are associated to this supplier. I'm giving them the ability to actually go create ones if they want to, as well as go into these and assign return codes or return reasons to the item as well. So they have that full ability to maybe update the quantity or specify a return reason for anything that's been returned. We'll keep it going. So that was order management. That was POs, closed POs and returns. Let's go into financials. I'm going to give my vendors the ability to look at their own invoices. In addition to looking at their own invoices, they could also print them if that was a desired option, as well as look at the status, whether or not it's approved or not, so they could keep tabs on whether or not they'll be paid anytime soon. Statements. So this is a fun one. A vendor could actually go and generate their own statement. Again, this is a real-time call of the ERP. So we are generating this statement in real time and essentially rendering it as a PDF on the portal. So if you don't want to distribute those, or if someone wants to go reprint it for whatever reason, they can. A vendor updating the ACH details on their account. This one is opposed to making a live call, I've actually supplied a form. Sometimes this is desired. The form gives you a little bit more flexibility on the layout. Of course, these fields don't have to be in the ERP, so I could ask them to put all kinds of additional details and not have that ERP dependency. So they could go specify their company, their bank name, routing number, etc., and then submit this form. That, of course, goes for review, and upon review, it will update their ACH details in their vendor record, again, in the ERP. Upload new. I also put a form here as well. This gives me the ability to upload a new vendor invoice. In addition, I'm asking them some specific information, maybe the cost center that they were performing this for, such things as the invoice ID, the amount, and then lastly, the ability to upload that file and then submit it, of course, for payment, but now as opposed to just emailing it, I'm capturing some additional details and they're uploading it directly from the portal. The fulfillment section, so this is leaving the financial section, now going into fulfillment. So it's going to be all of the things that I potentially want to collaborate with on a vendor that is helping me fulfill my items. So they could be managing inventory, they could be a contract manufacturer where they could have, updates on bill of materials or their own production orders that they're producing for me. So it's that type of collaboration that we are giving access to a supplier for. So let's go into a couple of these. We'll go into the bill of materials. You can see they could drill into any of these bill of materials, look at the items associated to them. In addition, they could go update quantities for any of the bill of materials. If I want to give them the ability to update items, of course, they could do that as well. Oh, let's see, I have production orders, so maybe I want to give them visibility to the production orders that are pertinent to them, ability to drill into these production orders, as well as print them. Again, we see these type of information sharing often between contract manufacturing companies or companies that I'm really close with when it comes to fulfilling the production on my orders. Inventory. So this one, let's say for sake of example, I have a lot of inventory items, so I've enabled a search web part here. They could go ahead and search on items and look directly into the quantities on hand, on POs, etc. So if it's a vendor managed inventory and I want them to go in there and understand what it is that I have in stock and maybe automatically replenish me, they have access to that level of detail if they wish. And a discussion board. So the discussion board here is where they could post questions, collaborate with either me as obviously as their customer, or with other vendors, depending on how you want to set it up. But here you can see they could put their questions and comment and reply, polls, everything else. So your normal sort of back and forth and collaboration that you could have either with all your vendors or just one at a time. All right, so that covered the order management, it covered the financial management section. We went through fulfillment. The last thing you're going to see here is a contract management section. So what this is going to do, it's going to show my vendor contracts. These happen to be in SharePoint, and I want to show them the start date and the expiration date, and I want to give them the ability to initiate a renewal. And initiating renewal is going to kick off a workflow for me. Because renewing a contract, I can't just click a button. I need to send it to them. Maybe it requires that I get a physical signature associated to that, or at the very least an electronic signature, as well as they have to review their terms and conditions, etc. So what this actually button initiated was a workflow. So if I were to go to my email here, what you're going to see is it actually integrated with a DocuSign template or a DocuSign envelope. And it's presented this contract to my vendor for them to review. So I passed some variables to this contract. So now, it has all their vendor specifics, but they could go through, review this contract, accept it. Upon accepting this contract, it's going to go to an internal person for review. They could again go review this contract, say, yes, we like doing business with this vendor, so we're going to go ahead and approve it. And then upon approval of this, it's going to update the contract for another year's term. So I'll just include a quick comment on my approval. We like working with DynamicPoint, sure. And we'll go ahead and submit it. What that is going to do, it's going to continue to workflow, and it's going to give the requester, or the vendor, I should say, a notification that their contract has been extended. So you can see there I got an email in, your contract has been renewed, and then I gave them a link to that contract. The other thing that it actually did was update the expiration date of the contract in the underlying library that this happens to be connected to. So if I hit refresh there, you're going to see that it has been extended for another year's term. I have my contracts set up being a year in duration. So by them renewing it, it basically pushed out the expiration a year from today. So that was it from our fictitious portal demo. We went through, I think, all aspects of order management, financial management, fulfillment, and then lastly, contract management. So let's go ahead and switch it back to the PowerPoint presentation. Let's look at a couple customer sites just for sake of examples. So in order for us to be respectful to our customers, you can see we blurred out all of the logos, so hopefully it's not obvious whose sites they are. We just want to see what customers are using this for in real life. So we have a couple customers here just to go through. This is, again, a vendor portal for a manufacturing company. We're showing order information, so vendors could see details of their POs. They want to collaborate on receipts. They have the ability to view and manage change requests, as well as documents that are applicable to that vendor. Let's look at one more here. Again, POs, very popular one for collaborating with suppliers. Invoices waiting approval, completed, so all just different statuses of purchase orders. Instructions for submitting new documents to the company, as well as we have some onboarding features and things like that. So we could actually onboard new vendors and send them onboarding forms, and then ultimately create them in the system after that request was approved. So we just had a couple examples to share today. So let's go ahead and move on to some closing thoughts here. First of all, what a portal is not. This isn't intended to be a B2B site, as you can see. It's really geared towards B2B experiences. So it's not intended to be, a shopping cart or an Amazon experience or anything of that nature. It's really going business to business. And the second thing, I put this there, if I'm going to offer a portal to my customer or to my vendors, and they're not used to going that route, I have to really think about what it is that I would provide them that would be a benefit to them and me, and lay this out, in a well thought manner. A portal is like a website. I could create a website and I could, never get anyone to visit it because I'm not promoting it or putting anything there interesting enough to attract viewers. And a portal is absolutely that as well, right? You have to not only provide the functionality, but you have to let your vendors know this is there for them, why it's a benefit for them, etc. So there is some marketing in standing this up as well. Is a portal right for me? So a few considerations when evaluating this type of functionality. Again, B2B. If it's a B2C relationship, usually B2C relationships are quick, they're fast. These are really businesses working with other businesses, which is usually more, indicative of a vendor portal anyway, because these people are my suppliers. Collaboration is key, right? In other words, there has to be a need for this site to streamline collaboration. If there's really no collaboration between me and my vendor, I'm just, saying I need this and they're sending it to me and we're done, then there's really no benefit of a portal, right? There has to be a tight-knit relationship there such that collaboration becomes necessary, and with that, a portal helps automate or self-service a lot of that functionality. And then long-term customers or vendor relationships. Of course, this case we're talking about vendor relationships. If I just buy something from a vendor and then I'm done with them, having a portal is probably not going to yield the benefits that I want. Where if I work with these vendors time and time again over the years, then having that portal with that vendor makes sense, just because there's more time for me to get return on that investment of bringing them into the portal and sharing this information with them. Where do we go from here? I will leave with this video some links. A couple are Microsoft sites, and the last is our portal page here. On some further reading, building SharePoint portal, SharePoint as an extranet. These are both Microsoft provided. And then the last one is just our website, which you can see some videos and things like that that may be of interest as far as continuing your research on enabling a vendor portal. And then just some personal reflection. Do you use Office 365? That's a big one, right? If you're not an Office 365 user, a lot of the technology that I'm showing you, you'd have to go buy. Where if you are an Office 365 user, then this fits very well into your ecosystem. Would your business benefit from a portal? All those evaluation criteria that I just covered. And then lastly, would your vendors benefit from a portal, right? In other words, they're going to use it if it's to their benefit as well. If they're getting information in real time, they're able to see their orders, see their production orders, invoices, all the things that we went through, right? If that is, of course, a benefit to them, then they're going to be more likely to get value out of this portal that obviously you're providing to them. And that was it for today. So thank you everyone so much for joining us to our vendor portal specific to manufacturing industries. Thanks again and have a great day.